How do you honestly think your friends would describe your personality?
I think my friends would say that I'm loud, I'm fun, I'm outgoing, I'm up for anything, but they also might call me a little bit crazy.
What would your toughest critics have to say?
Usually I am my toughest critic, always forcing myself, telling myself I can do better, I should do better, try harder. But besides myself, I think my other critics would at least admit that I'm honest.
What are your best and worst qualities?
My best quality is that I always put others before myself, which is considered a good quality for them, bad quality for me.
I know you love watching Cake Boss and the amazing creations that they make, but which member of the cast do you relate to the most?
That is a really tough question. I relate to all of them because they all have their individual quirks that you go, oh my goodness, that's me. If I had to choose one, which I guess I do because that's what the piece of paper says, I would have to choose Buddy because we both have very loud, outgoing, in-your-face personalities. Plus, we basically have the same accent. Come on.
So tell me about your experience in the food industry business.
At 16, I got a job at McAllister's Deli, working as a server and as a cashier. Then I got a job at Your Perfect Cake, hired as customer service. And I've been there for 3 years, and now I've just started to do cakes.
Do you have any cake decorating or pastry experience?
I do. I've dabbled a little bit here and there. After I got my job at Your Perfect Cake, I just stared and marveled at all of the things that they were doing in there. So I would go home, get recipes, get ingredients, come home and try to make cakes that would even remarkably resemble theirs. And I guess after time it just kind of continued to get better and better, and they've always been willing to answer any questions I had.
I know you love to eat everything, which, by the way, sweetheart, is hurting on your mom and my wallet. Is there any certain type of foods or dessert that you like to bake or cook?
I love to, as far as food goes, spaghetti is my all-time favorite. Any Italian, actually. I love Italian, but it's bad for you, all the carbs. No. As far as desserts go, I love cooking all types of desserts. I love finding out about, history and what desserts were served there, and going to the store and buying tons of ingredients and coming home and seeing what I can make out of that.
Are there any styles of cooking you hate?
There's no styles of cooking I hate. To each his own. Everyone has their own way of doing things. There is one style of cooking that absolutely terrifies me. I love to eat it, but I can't cook it. Fried foods. Those fryers terrify me to pieces. Flying things going everywhere. It just seems like injury waiting to happen.
Are you creative in the kitchen?
I think so. Well, I guess so. My parents always say they're amazed at the mess I can make.
How elaborate and creative are your designs when baking?
They get way out of control. To the point that I'm thinking about them when I'm on vacation. When I go on trips, I'm always taking pictures of signs or the railing or anything that gives me inspiration for a cake so I can bring it home and create something new.
Tell us any interesting details about yourself or anything that makes you stand out, like wacky jobs, hobbies, interests, awards.
What doesn't make me stand out?
Recipes.
Everywhere. Back of cake boxes, friends, family. I'll even just grab a box of things and see what I can make out of it.
How do you twist them into your own?
I love to bake the recipe one time the way that they tell me to make it, and then I love just seeing what would taste better here, what would go better there, what I can add to make it my own.
Do you have any original recipes?
I have one. It was when I was 3 years old. I thought it was going to be a big hit, but apparently it wasn't. I made a mud pie with real mud, butter, milk, and chocolate. Apparently my little brother wasn't very fond of it.
Complete this sentence. If I were an ingredient, I would be...
Ganache.
Why would you choose that?
Because ganache is good all by itself, but it mixes well with others, just like me.
What is your all-time favorite ingredient?
My all-time favorite ingredient is butter.
Why?
Because it's smooth, it's creamy, and I have not seen anything yet that adding butter to it doesn't make it better.
Any others?
I know it's not an ingredient, But about to admit something, I carry around like a jar of marinara sauce in my bag. I couldn't live without it.
What are your top 3 original ideas on baking, decorating, tips, ingredients that demonstrate your knowledge?
Well, everything I do on a trial and error basis. So I'm sure I've got lots of tips that I could have acquired throughout the way and I just don't remember. And I'm sure they're not that original because people are a lot smarter than me and have figured them out a long time ago. So I'll write those down and have them for you next time.
Give me a summary of your baking culinary point of view.
It's got to look good and it's got to taste good. If it doesn't, don't put it out there. You could put out 500 cakes that look amazing and have one cake that goes out that you knew you should have fixed. Well, to that person with that one cake, it doesn't matter to them that you did 500 amazing cakes.
Are you competitive in nature?
Not a bit. Just kidding.
Could you give us some examples?
Well, I was raised with 3 brothers. So I was raised with the boys. I'm ready to fight with the boys.
If you're up against other contestants, will you be competitive in order to win the cash and prizes? Now I want to hear this. Elaborate, please.
I'll be nice, but I will do everything in my power that it takes to win. And if they, by some rare chance, beat me, I'd slap them with a spatula.
How do you handle and react to stressful situations?
During stressful situations, I take a lot of time to pray for guidance. And then as far as how I react in the situations, I just grab the reins, go for it, say we're going to get through this, we'll figure it out, let's go.
What makes you unique?
What makes me unique is that I have successfully juggled pursuing 2 medical degrees and pursuing my interest in the culinary field without sacrificing the quality of either one of them. Yes, it means that I have had to skimp out on a few of the normal college girl routines as far as going out with my friends all the time and going on vacation. They'll call me to tell me they're going out and I tell them I'm going home to bake a cake. So I thank them so much for putting up with me. But the opportunity to do this show would make all of this seem worthwhile.
Why should you be picked to be on this series?
I should be picked to be on this series because I'm awesome for it. I'm fun, I'm loud, I'm outgoing, I'm in it to win it. I will do anything that it takes. When should I tell them that I'm really cute and I'd bring in lots of viewers?
I think you just did.